There's also the sign outside. She could take a picture.
Yeah,
of
for
it.
sure.
Often
Yeah,
do
I'll
that.
clear that as well.
Anastasia, did you hear the paper about, she said 45 deaths? And Anastasia has
Well, that's only in the States.
That's only in the States. Did she say in the States? Did I miss
I
that?
didn't see the article.
Can you clarify if she said in the States? Because I
I
read
haven't
it.
seen the article either. I did send a statement, but I didn't include that information, so I'm wondering if she went to the lab.
From Black.
Yeah, because I was gonna say.
But I don't know that people know that Flag is just the U.S.
Yeah.
No, it's global, but they're very U.S. centric.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. We don't have press releases from our Canadian institutions. Like I couldn't find anything.
Anastasia is going to address that.
Yeah.
But I think when I read the article, I thought, people reported 45 deaths in the whole world.
Yeah, that's just the U.S. case. Because when you look up Transgender Day of Remembrance, that is the first one that comes up with that exact information.
Yeah. So I missed U.S.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Yeah, probably if you wanted to offer it right here. From right here, we'd be sitting up.
Let's go 5.
A warm welcome to you today, those gathering online, and to you here in this space. My name is Craig Miller, and I'm the minister here at Knox United, and we're glad that you've joined us for this Transgender Day of Remembrance. Today in this service online and tomorrow in the vigil on Zoom, we join the global human family to observe Transgender Day of Remembrance. We remember our trans, two-spirit, and gender non-conforming siblings who died at the hands of hatred, evil, and violence because of their gender identity and expression. Today we renew and restore our commitment to protect, to support, and to remember our transgender, two-spirit, and genderqueer siblings. We didn't open the service to the public this year. We wanted to be particularly cautious and unsure of where we might be at in this time of pandemic, and we know that there are breakthrough infections happening in the community, and so the organizing community wanted to be cautious today. But we thank you for joining us online. We know that many years in the past, we take comfort and solace from being able to gather in this space and in community together. Some years, anywhere between 40 to 80 of us have gathered to mark this day, and we come from this diverse community in the Westman area. And if you've joined us at those times, I invite you, as you're online, just to visualize those folks that have joined us in the past, folks within your family, within your support system, and imagine them here with you today. Let them bring you their love, their power, their support, their affirmation. As we share our memories, as we reflect, as we read this list of names, and as we commit ourselves to action. As we gather today, we acknowledge that we gather on Treaty 2 lands near the border with Treaty 1. We acknowledge with respect the history, the spirituality, and the culture of the peoples with whom Treaties 1 and 2 were signed, and the territory wherein we meet today, and our responsibility as treaty people. We acknowledge these lands as home to the Dakota Sioux, the Anishinaabe, the Assiniboine, the Dene, the Cree, and the Oji-Cree peoples, and we are, of course, in the heart of the Métis Nation. We're very grateful to have Elder Debbie Huntinghawk with us today to offer a smudge. As she offers that here today, we ask you to set aside this time to be present with us. If you have your cell phone with you, you may want to silence that so that you can be fully present with us for this memorial service. Debbie.
Glasses when you smudge.
Thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. For those who do not know me, my name is Rachel Wu, and I am the 2ST LGBTQ+ program facilitator at Cirque Brandon. We come together today to remember all of those who have been lost to acts of anti-transgender violence in the last year. Transgender Day of Remembrance began in 1999 by advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith to honor the memory of Rita Hester, a transgender woman killed in 1998. Since then, groups around the world have gathered on November 20th to remember and honor the lives of those lost to violence. To quote Gwendolyn Ann Smith, Transgender Day of Remembrance seeks to highlight the losses we face due to anti-transgender bigotry and violence. I am no stranger to the need to fight for our rights, and the right to simply exist is first and foremost. With so many seeking to erase transgender people, sometimes in the most brutal way possible, it is vitally important that those who are lost are remembered and that we continue to fight for justice. I will now invite our Planning Committee member, Isaiah, to introduce our speaker.
Dr. Anastasia Gibson is a registered psychologist with Prairie Mountain Health Adult Community Mental Health Services and is an assistant professor with the Clinical Health Psychology Department, the Max Rady College of Medicine, University of Manitoba. Her clinical interests include wellness and advocacy in the transgender community and gender non-conforming community. Aside from work, Dr. Gibson has one son who is 27 years old. In terms of hobbies, Dr. Gibson enjoys songwriting and playing music with her band, The Misty Street, and also enjoys reading and exercise. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Dr. Anastasia Gibson.
Thank you, Isaiah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Anastasia Gibson, pronoun she and her. I'm a clinical psychologist and a proud transgender woman. As I speak to you today, my feelings are mixed. I am truly honored to speak at this service today, to pay respect to those individuals in the gender non-conforming and trans community who died due to violence in the past year. Yet I am pained that I have to speak at all. As a culture, we often tend to congratulate ourselves for being inclusive, for being evolved, for being woke. Yet last year, 2020, was at that time the deadliest year on record for trans and gender non-conforming individuals. At least 350 transgender people were killed in 2020. An increase of 6% over 2019. In the US, 44 transgender people were killed, up from 26 in both 2018 and 2019. However, as I prepare this, 2021 will prove to become the deadliest year on record for transgender people. This year has surpassed the record of transgender homicides in a year, with 45 to date in the US. And most of those being Black or Latinx, according to the U.S. Human Rights Campaign. In Canada, there are concerns of underreporting, as quite often individuals are misgendered and misidentified and not included properly in the statistics. Indigenous populations are particularly impacted by this violence. The question then is why? This day, this time, is historically intended to be a day of remembrance, to call out each name of each person, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, gender diverse, gender non-conforming, trans, NB, two-spirited, so that they are more than just a statistic, more than a label, with the intent that this list would shrink with each year as the issue of violence toward the transgender and gender non-conforming community continues to be illuminated. These are real people who each had their own lives, lives that were ended because of the direct and indirect effects of transphobia. Some of these cases involve clear anti-transgender motives. In others, the victim's transgender status put them at risk in other ways, such as forcing them into unemployment, poverty, homelessness, and/or survival sex work. Welcome to our evolved society. And there are both overt and covert expressions of transphobia. And because the covert is quieter, one can argue that it is equally as deadly as the overt, because this is often where the violence starts. And the covert can occur in all of us. We each need to look at our own implicit biases. Our perceptions and behaviors can be influenced by these biases that we hold, even if we are sometimes unaware we hold such stereotypes. We must ask ourselves, do we think differently about folks in the trans community? Do we hold assumptions about their character or circumstance? Does our behavior change around folks in the trans community? Am I standing up for transgender and gender non-conforming individuals when I see transphobia or insensitivities in others? My own internalized transphobia, was extremely damaging, as it prevented me from living authentically for 51 years. Years that were plagued with anxiety and self-hatred. These covert expressions are not unto themselves the sole reasons for hatred and violence toward trans or gender non-conforming individuals, but these underlying assumptions ignite violence if not understood. By jokes made at the dinner table, by comedy specials that masquerade as vehicles of freedom of speech that can result in transphobic exclusionary practices, hatred, and violence. So my challenge to folks listening today is this: adopt humility, surrender pride, and allow yourself an opportunity to take a personal inventory of your own implicit biases. It's from this vantage point that we can take greater steps to be advocates, to be supporters, prayerfully observing that this annual list actually shrink each year, and where my trans and gender diverse siblings no longer have to fear when they enter a restroom or walk around freely in another community, where they can enter into a conversation, go to work, or perhaps accept a date without fear that they may not survive the experience, especially if they are Indigenous or people of color. That, my friends, is when we can say, perhaps as a society, we have in fact truly evolved. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gibson. Good words for us today, good words for us to live throughout the year. As we join in this time of remembrance, we gather here in this space and online, joining in the quest for truth and meaning. And as we do so, we bear witness. We bear witness to the horrific loss of human lives extinguished, simply because people dared to live their true identity, to live lives and reported deaths of transgender and two-spirit people globally so far this year. We bear witness to the unreported deaths, the unaccounted ones, the unnamed many, whose lives and deaths will only ever be known by the universe, and we bear witness. In these times of heightened anxiety, we who are gathered here today reject the teachings of ignorance and division and hatred, and we commit to siding with love against this hate and violence. We bear witness in this time of closed-minded ideologies that excuse evil acts in the name of religion or ideology, and we bear witness. We bear witness against any institution or culture that seeks to fuel their rise to power by threatening the lives of transgender, two-spirit, genderqueer, and non-binary people. We bear witness, once again, against systemic power structures that treat our kin, particularly those who are people of color, Black and Indigenous, as being anything less than human, and we bear witness. On this day gathered together, we uphold the principle that every person has inherent dignity and self-worth. For those transgender, two-spirit, genderqueer, and non-binary people who are gathered today and tomorrow on the 20th, the official day of remembrance, for them we bear witness. For those who are allied to our cause, we give thanks. For those who exist boldly, unapologetically, in public spaces, fully and authentically, as transgender, two-spirit, genderqueer, and non-binary people, we give thanks and we bear witness. Let the reading of names now commence.
From Australia, Bridget Flack, name unknown. From Argentina, Alejandra Villa Salazar, Alejandra La Power Benitez, Yelin Medana Olmedo, Natalia Maldonado, Lucho Avia, Jesus Ochandio, Lachandio, Tewel de la Torre, Sofia Micah Catan.
Josefina Curseno, Vicky Navina, Silo Di Lisha, San Antino Can Sinino, Fatima Belen Barros, Victoria Vicky Nanus, Barasa Rafina de Vela Razos, Nicholas Fabiona Palma Ramirez, Wanda Soretos de la Fred.
From Azerbaijan, Nurey Nureyev. From Belgium, Maya Borg. From Bolivia, Gabriela Ramirez. Alessandra Ferrati. Reza Toriani. From Brazil, Samila Mary Winston. Paola Bueno. Bruna Marias de Oliveira. Andressa Deschaga. Barbie dos Santos.
Continuing from Brazil, Michelle Amieda, Adriana Ha Paris, Johanna de Arc, Domingos Juliana Piropo, Yuri Aquariano Arthur, Natasha Nascimento, Sandy da Silva Gomez, Benjamin Bonin, Esther Vogue, Rafaela Bahi, Paquita Ferreira Brazil.
Sheila de Oliveira da Silva, Maria Clara de Oliveira, Bianca Pereira, Camille Rocha, Laura, Makeli Campion, Hennifer, Reza Ra Eloa Menendez Lima, G. Rocha Silva, Bruna Tenorio Gomez Arrejo.
Name unknown. Karine Victoria Cristina. Liana de la Cruz Costa. Paula Bandeo. Marcela Estela Vieira. Natalie Lilly. Duda. Luana Mendez Luana Pereira dos Santos. Fortoy Lima. Name unknown.
Alec Noah, name unknown. Vanessa Sampino, Oriana J.A. Da Silva, Karen Rachiva, Duda Lefa, Lapita Moraes da Salvia, Nicola Fernanda, Melavala Lashita Lessa.
Mimi Yasmin Lessa. Luciana Sandrili Alves. Name unknown. Yonga Mura. Duda dos Santos. Amanda Mandy Vajunas. Ursula Marivolos A.S. Giselle Sky. Natasha Santos. Pajuca Alves de Souza.
Manuela Otto, Harusa Oliveira Reyes, Luca Gomez Sauto, Alicia Rodriguez, Natasha De Paz Gomez, Lorena Muniz, Andressa India Pimentel, Eva Carvalho, Michele Camera, Alejandro Montiera, Alejandra Correra de Oliveira.
Tana, name unknown. Drika Rodriguez Salez, Itu dos Santos, Carolyn Moreau Champer Ali, Luana Katrina, name unknown. Nathalie Mendez Alves, Deborah Loven Stain, Fanny.
Pietra Valentina, Vida Bruno, Madalena Leite, Marciana Makita Vaz, Marcia Marquita, Milena Massafera, name unknown, name unknown. Larissa Lara Diakman, Stephanie.
Yara Kamade, Yara Pira Dan Santos, Juliana Santos, Mona Lisa Ledid, Andressa Santos, F.D. Asas Baraga de Oliveira, Emanuele Ali Castodos, Luana Moraes, J.S. Cardoso, Jacqueline Savary Sevilla, Rainey Nana Mercies.
Tita dos Chagas, name unknown. Roberta Fernandez, Elas Gamas Nunes Andrada, name unknown. Rubia Carvalho, Tainara Morez, name unknown, name unknown.
Name unknown. Sapphire de Martinelli, Lihia, Nicole Javier Azevedo, Danielle Silva, Caliandra Salva Guedes Noguera de Ora, Pompeia Ramos, name unknown. Bebe, Maria Eduarda.
Natasha Galveo, Crismali Pupu Pom Pom Parola, Meha Morito, Fabiana de Silva Lucas, Raval Oliver, Danazina Danny Fontany, Roberta Silva, name unknown, Prof. Fran Demetrio.
Brew Waldorf, Badeka, Dr. Patricia Targino Dutra, Gail Mendez Gigi, Sabrina Martins, Carla Ariella, Bruna, Pamela Lorraine, Dandera Broom, Swellen Carey.
Elisa Laura Fiara, Raquel Maya Morez, Lorani Lopez Levito, Dodo Perez da Silva, Darla, name unknown, Rebecca Sampino / Reni Santonos Dimas, Ana Paula Lopez dos Santinos, Lola Santinos.
Name unknown. Evelyn Montini, Raquel, Kelly Dandara Alves, Alessandra Dromond, Natalia Bia Leticia Barbodas de França, name unknown. From Canada, name unknown. From Chile, Vincenzi Gonzalez Laura. Valentina Kim Vera Lopez.
Amelia Bao Herrera Obrecht, Malu Miejas. From Colombia, Michelle Brenda Ramos Alarcon, Johanna Marina Mayor, Erica, Daniela Serenita Riascos, Samantha Sami Riaño Morales, Angie Priscilla Geniot Arevalo, Giovanna Bentoncourt Vergara, Veronica Solano, Andrea Nestor Moreno Castillo,
Brianna Camilla Cami Espinoso Sanchez, Natalie Sofia Martinez Grabados, Yeri Teresa Hurtado, Malabath Yulitza Marchina, Silvana Gomez Galeano, Ileana Castillo, Laura Michal, Claudia Madonna Ramirez, Julieth Balmaceda.
Catalea Martinez Machado, Luciana Moscoso, Shirley Mejia Sanchez, Adriana Diaz, Antonella, Isabella Garcon Monsalve, Tatiana, Camelia Arcia, Diana. From Costa Rica, Tati Quiros Davila.
From Ecuador, Antonida Garcia Ramirez, Cristina Rodriguez, Daniela Ramos, H.A. La Tigra Ramirez, Carla Garcia, La Garcia Demones, Danny Benvidas, Juan Carreros Casquino, Hannah Burrows Ladibla. From El Salvador, name unknown, Zazie Zula D.C. Vasquez.
Jocelyn Alejandra Hernandez, Fernanda Alvardo. From France, Avril Luna, Nicolas, Ambre Andre Ister, Paula Mijon, Sasha, Ivana Masado Silva, Samuel Bautry, Tristan Fremont.
From Germany, Ella. From Greece, Demetria Kalogenius. From Guatemala, Ceci Caracia Estapa. Andrea Gonzalez. From Haiti, Gerlang Francois. From Honduras, Mia Colici Zabala Gutierrez. Valeri Pereira Karencita Mejia Nunez, Erica Tatiana Martinez Garcia, Vanessa Zuniga.
From India, Sangeetha Sudarshan Suryavanshi, name unknown. Sneha Surya Naharika Narasimhu Murthy, Aliyah T. Vijay Kumar Safiq, Ananya Kumari Alex.
Prachi, Sumana Dar, Dakshayani. From Italy, China Rivera, Adrieli, Gianna Lombardi, name unknown, name unknown. From Japan, Nier Bayu. From Kazakhstan, Shadkanda. From
From Malawi, Grace Maharo. From Mexico, Gretel Sabelos Ramirez. Eric Decino. Marcos, name unknown, name unknown. Atina Lala Varisas Ramirez. La Grasparda. Camilla, name unknown.
Violeta Ramirez Perez. Barbara Barbie Valencia, name unknown. Christina Lambimbo Hernandez Castillo. Genova Angulo Ramos. Natasha Liverman. Sherlyn Scarlett Varela, name unknown. Vincenta Lachenta Dolores. Alejandra Ali Zayas Lara.
Nelly Garcia Riviera, name unknown. Daisy Del Carmen. Diana Scarlett. Gala Ocampo Figuero. Naomi Alonso, name unknown. Luna Abscal Getsemani Santos Luna. Diana Miranda Paulo Farati. Salete.
J.F. Medina Hernandez. Paola Calderon, name unknown. Jennifer Zapata, name unknown. LaCandra LaBarbie Zambrano. Charlotte Escobar Ramos, name unknown, name unknown, name unknown.
name unknown. Kendra Torres Galeana, name unknown, name unknown. Diana Cervantes, Michelle, name unknown. Yvonne Tewetle, Fanny Arguello Jacqueline Sanchez Semperoli. Kendra Gonzalez.
Valra Karskiscos, Frey Mando Basu Bob Adela, Alan Sanchez, Fabiola Rivera, Patricio Balanzos, name unknown, Maya, Mirda Arlanda, Katlana Santonos Avero, name unknown.
Name unknown. Devani Cardio. Paulette. Name unknown. Name unknown. B. Susanna Silvestri Leon. From Myanmar. Thotha. Name unknown. Name unknown.
Name unknown, name unknown, name unknown. From the Netherlands, Zishong Zhao. From Nicaragua, Lala Contreras. From Pakistan, Arsalan Maria, name unknown, Sapa Kolagai.
Guru Zaman, Dolphin, Bobby, Mumtaz, Bubli, Shanu, A. Raza, Roba. From Peru, Soledad, Sisha, Rojas, Parkar, Luisa, Ravila, Ursia.
Reina Rera Saga Fernandez Villanueva. S. Sarah Mimani. Gina Rodriguez Sinuri. From the Philippines, Emmy Urima. Erica Andrina. F. Escalante. L. E. Parama. Julie Kataman. Nicole Quianetta, R. Bondoc.
Pet Gali, Arvinli Majorano, J. Banquio, Beng Mayer, S. Militan, Brian Gallen, Cindy Jones Torres, name unknown, Maslihana Hashim, R. Tambong.
From Portugal, Angelita Alves Correa. From Russia, Victoria Vika Vasakovayaska. From Spain, Eradix Orteo. From South Korea, Bun Hee-so. From Sweden, Samir Sif Bubudali. Name unknown. From Turkey, Celine Ayanasi. Marias Gunes. Pamela Pam. Hadir Murat Zuzabir.
From the United Kingdom, Jane McQueen, Nyla Gupta, Lise Lawrence, Sophie Gwen Williams, Milo Turner. From Uruguay, Gloria Florencia Alves Marino. From the USA, Brooklyn Deshauna Smith, Sarah Blackwood, Angel Unique Haynes, Felicia Harris.
Skylar Heath. Fendi Peaches Moniza Armstrong. Yaneski Uni Carey Herrera. Asia Janae Foster. Kimberly Susan Thial. Shay Mashia Cheche Sims. Yahim Bala Pugh. Malaya Monea Mullen. Courtney Ishay Key. Alexandria Winchester.
Kimberly Kim Patricia Cope, Bonaire Bonnie Black, Tiana Davare Alexander, Samuel Edmund Damian Valentine, Tobias Benji Palmer, Natasha Kiana, Bianca Muffin Banks, Dominique Jackson, Sandy Goodis Bunny Crisp, 50 bands.
Alexis Braxton, Kimmy Icon Baxton, Alexander Blake Van Delson, China Cariolo, Jasmine Jazzy Bright, Jeffrey J.J. Bright, Jenna Franks, Kimberly Tova Wirtz, Diamond Carrie Sanders / Diamond Nicole, Rihanna Pardo, and Adeline Evans.
Piper Autumn Rivers, Tegan Toxic, Tegan Last. Chris Brandon Ruiz, Kim Ramirez, Jada Peterson, Dominique Lucius, Remy Fennell, Tiara Banks, Iris Santos, Natalia Smoot Lopez, Tiffany Thomas.
Carrie Bobo Washington, Jahara de Alto Balenciaga, T. Harden, Whispering Wind Bear Spirit, Danny Henson, Sophie Vasquez, Danielle Danny Mistrit Velvet Bochi, Serenity Hollis, Nona Moselle Connor, Giselle Hartzog, Giselle Hilton.
Oliver Ollie Taylor. Haven A. Bailey. Poe Black, Oliver Jackson, Legion Tommy. K.C. Wilson. Dee Dee Thomas, Terry Marie Lewis, Nova Rue Watson E.J. Boykin, Ruby Dominguez, Taya Ashton, Jessica Smith.
Shay Vanderpump, Coco Chanel Wortham, Pooh Titanizer Mua Johnson, Claire Montserrat Jackson, Zoella Zoe Rose Martinez, Daisea Monet Smith, Brianna Ulmer Hamilton, Kier Lapri Cartier. From Venezuela, Mitchell Petufa Gonzalez Cortez, Valentina Gamez, Elizabeth Rondon.
Let us observe a moment of silence. These remembered deaths have not gone unnoticed by us. Sacred, transgender, two-spirit, genderqueer, and non-binary lives do not go unnoticed by us, and we bear witness. We'll wrap up our remembrance service in a minute. But as we do so, maybe I can put Rachel on the spot for a minute to tell you how to connect with the vigil tomorrow night, which will be on Zoom. Rachel?
Our Zoom live stream candle vigil will be taking place at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. If you are interested in attending the vigil, please contact me via email at Rachel, RACHEALW, @serc.mb.ca. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. And if you're on social media, you can find that information on our Facebook page. The Transgender Day of Remembrance that Isaiah created for us is on the Knox United Facebook page, and it includes Rachel's email information. So we would love to have you join us tomorrow evening. Please spread the word with friends and family as we continue to mark this particular time, Trans Awareness Week and Transgender Day of Remembrance. Our thanks to our guests, particularly to Dr. Gibson, who's joined us today, to our elder, Debbie Huntinghawk, to our readers and organizers, and to Jane Skinner at the piano, and our thanks to our audiovisual crew. Today, my kin, let us commit ourselves to create communities as places of welcome, of love and inclusion, where all can learn and all can be teachers, a place where all are safe. May our communities be places where people can seek and experience wholeness. This day we mourn our losses and we honor our precious dead. Tomorrow and every other day, we continue to fight for the living. May it be so.